Hello, everyone, and welcome to the weekly energy update for the week of July 12th, 2026. I'm Renee Spears, a spirit guide channeler and spiritual mentor, and I'm coming to you from very hot Bozeman, Montana. Every Sunday, I share the energy for the week ahead, and I also infuse the show with some positive vibes, so you get a little positive energy boost just for listening. And this is one of the most important emotional weeks of the year. Now, when I hear the word emotional, I immediately think of being sad or crying. Yeah, that can be part of it. But emotions also include joy and love and gratitude and excitement. This is the kind of week where you can sink into that lovely, juicy summer energy and let yourself feel all the good stuff too. It's not the kind of week where there's stuff really happening out in the world necessarily. Instead, the energy helps us to slow down, do some reflecting, and get ready for everything that's about to change. This is a quiet, reflective, healing time. And those are often the weeks that end up changing our lives the most because they change us from the inside out. And it's all happening to prepare us for next week's basket configuration. So we got a lot of stuff happening all at once. There's the new moon in Cancer. The sun is still in Cancer. Mercury is retrograde in Cancer. It's also the last week of both Cancer season and Mercury retrograde. And together, all this energy is giving us a chance to reset emotionally before things start shifting again. It's like the universe is giving us one last opportunity to clear out the old, get our priorities in order, and prepare for what's coming next. So think of this week as taking a deep breath before life starts picking up speed again. The main thing happening this week is the new moon in Cancer on Tuesday the 14th. Cancer is the sign of family, our roots, our homes, and emotional security. And this is the mother moon. It's a nurturing, protective, homey energy that makes you feel safe and loved. New moons are about new beginnings, but Cancer really doesn't rush into action. This moon isn't about hustling toward new goals. It's about creating an emotional foundation for what you're building next. So you may suddenly realize that you're exhausted, or that you've outgrown certain relationships, or where you live may no longer feel like your home. This could be your actual home, but it may also be the city or the state or the country where you live. And you may feel like staying home more this week and updating or clearing out your home for a fresh start. Now, this new moon is not a standalone event. The moon, sun, and Mercury are all together in Cancer within 2 degrees of each other, creating a stellium that amps up the Cancer energy. And Cancer turns our attention inward. So instead of focusing on what's happening out in the world, it asks us to pay attention to what's happening inside of us. It's less concerned with appearances and more interested in what feels real. Now, things are shifting in such a great way. We'll care much less about how we look and what other people think of us, and much more about how we feel about ourselves and our lives. We're finally recognizing what's truly important. Not a fancy purse or a huge house or a title, but inner peace, our family and our people, and how we feel when we wake up in the morning. The financial slowdown right now is also helping us get clear about what really matters. It's helping us to be more intentional about where our money goes and prioritize what's truly important. So it will feel good to enjoy the simple things, like cooking more meals at home and spending less and letting go of things that don't matter. So this isn't a forward-moving energy. Instead, it's about looking back. Cancer rules our memories, our roots, and our private interior lives. And add Mercury retrograde into the mix, and this week is about slowing down, listening, and processing things we thought we were done with. So you may find yourself thinking about childhood memories, old conversations, old friendships, forgiveness, and old situations you thought you'd already worked through. You may hear from people from your past, or memories may randomly pop up. And I had a random memory pop up this week. When I was about 10, I read the book Harriet the Spy and decided I wanted to be a detective. So I made these flyers advertising my detective services and put them up on the bulletin board at the grocery store. Like, these flyers looked like a 10-year-old made them. And my friend's dad saw them and called me to help find his keys. So, of course I did not find his keys, but I remember that he gave me $10 for trying. So such a fun memory. And I think that's where my entrepreneurial side started. But all this reflection we're doing isn't happening to pull us backward. We're not meant to get stuck in the past. Instead, this is the time to pay attention to our lives, to stop distracting ourselves with constant activity, or TV, or phones, or worry. We often distract ourselves from being present by thinking about the future or the past. So this is the week to come to some realizations about how we want to live and what's really important in our lives, to get some clarity before life starts moving in a whole new direction next week. So this week is preparing us for next week's basket configuration. And this basket is one of the rarest planetary configurations of our lifetime. Basket patterns happen from time to time, but this exact basket with Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto all aligned at 4 degrees in these newly entered signs is unique. Many astrologers consider it one of the most significant alignments of the century. So think of this week as packing that basket. Before we move forward, think about what emotional baggage are we leaving behind? What wisdom are we taking with us? What relationships deserve our energy? What no longer belongs in our future? Like we can't bring everything with us. We only want to pack what really matters. So all the emotions we'll feel and all the reflection we're doing are all to prepare us for next week's basket. It's helping us to travel lighter so that all of our baggage will fit in the overhead compartment. So by the time Mercury goes direct and Leo season begins next week, we'll feel lighter and clearer and more certain about where we're headed. This week is a little quieter than usual. Rest when you need to. Spend time with the people you love. Enjoy the simple moments, like pay attention to any insights you may have. And let yourself fully enjoy this lovely, lovely summer week. Now, it is super hot here in Bozeman. It'll be over 100 today, so there's no hiking on the agenda. Instead, I'm getting stuff ready for my retreat client coming on Friday with some cleaning and some organizing. So as always, thank you for listening and passing the podcast on to your friends. Have a lovely week, and I'll be back next week to talk about Leo season, the basket, and the nodes of fate changing signs.